It's been a little over a year since I received my pair of custom Nicks Pullman engineer boots. And in that time, they have become my absolute favorite thing to shove my feet into. That's right. It's been about 14 months since I've got my Pullmans, and I have worn them a lot in that time. They've gone from the pristine condition they were in when new, kind of stiff, not very pliable, to the broken-in condition they're in now, very comfortable, but still looking amazing. They don't look particularly worn after over a year of use. They have molded perfectly to my feet and have become extremely comfortable, even though they weren't bad at all when new. The leather has softened. It has worked in, but it still looks great. There aren't any horrible deep creases in the toes. The shafts don't slump over when you take the boots off. The V-bar soles have held up really well. I'll show you the heels in a bit. Those have got some wear on them. But in general, I'm kind of astounded by how good these still look after 14 months of pretty hard use. I wear these a lot, and it's mostly walking around on hard concrete, something that's pretty abrasive. And these are doing absolutely fantastic. So here's a closer look at my Pullmans and how they have aged. You can see there's a little bit of creasing in the leather, but nothing too crazy. You don't have any of those really deep creases that look like they could crack eventually. I've actually been really happy with how the toe has worked in. The shafts are still quite upright. They don't feel as though they're going to start slumping over or anything at all anytime soon. The leather is still very strong. Not rigid, it's soft, it's worked in, but it's fantastic. You can see the stitching on the toe now has gotten a little bit less bright white. The natural edge color on here still looks great. I haven't put anything on that really. I've conditioned the boots a couple times since I've had them, but nothing too crazy. The V-bar soles are still looking pretty good. Plenty of tread left here. The heels have worn down quite a bit. I don't feel like I walk on my heels, but apparently I must. And we're getting to the point where we might be getting into the heel stack soon, so I'm going to want to replace just the heel. I'm not going to need to replace the sole for quite a while, I don't think. You guys should check out the videos I've done about these boots already. I did one where I was talking about the custom ordering process for the Nicks Pullmans and just Nicks boots in general. I go over the whole configuration there, and then I did a box opening video where I was trying them on for the first time, and then I did a video where it was a 6-month update. So you can see a little bit more information about all the different things that I chose in the configuration. But just for a quick update, I did a boot length. It's a 9.5. I ordered an entire size down from my normal size. I'm normally a 10.5, but I did a 9.5 in these because they are pull-ons, and that's what Nicks recommended. And I have to say they fit perfectly. They had a little bit of heel slip at first. They were kind of tough to pull on and off at first, but now they're not hard at all. I can pull them off and on pretty easily. They fit really nicely right through here. There's still a little bit of heel slip, but it's perfectly normal for a pull-on boot, and they're super comfortable to walk in. I don't think I could have any other size. I think this size was absolutely perfect. The boot width on these was D, so a 9.5 D. I had the classic 55 last and arch. The leather style, this is the 1964 black all smooth. That's a 7 to 8 ounce leather. So the 1964 just has a little bit more oil impregnated into it, so it's a little softer right off the bat. Maybe takes a little less time to break in. I did get the pull loop in the back. I find that quite useful for actually getting the boots on and off. I have the soft toe structure, so no Celastic, nothing in the toe at all. It's just the leather. The heel stack is the classic 5/8 of an inch. And then I have the V-bar outsole, which I absolutely recommend. Vibram V-bar. And then the edge color was just natural. And the heel profile is the logger. So it has that little bit of a swoop to it, which I think really caps off the look of these boots. Absolutely fantastic. Get a closer look at the patina of the leather. Just looks great. With all these custom options that I picked back in December of 2023, the regular price of these boots would be $689. I did get a discount. I was pretty lucky that I was kind of working with Nicks at the time. They gave me a discount on the boots, and then they provided them much earlier than they would other people, I think. It only took about 2 months for these to be built for me, whereas I think with a lot of other people, you're looking at closer to 7, 8 months, maybe even a year. So yeah, I got pretty lucky with that. So, after wearing these for 14 months and really making them my own, am I happy with them? Do I think they're worth the price? Is there anything I would change about the boots, the custom configuration that I got? Well, yes, I am extremely happy with these boots. Like I said, this is my favorite piece of footwear. They're so comfortable. Recently, I was having an issue with my big toe on my right foot, where almost every pair of shoes I would wear just made it extremely painful when I would bend my toe, and I could wear my Nicks Pullmans. They were perfectly comfortable. They didn't contribute or add to the pain I was feeling in my toe. They just mold so perfectly to your feet. They feel kind of hard and rigid at first, but after, less than a month of wear, they fit me like a glove. And they inspire so much confidence when you're walking. It feels like your feet are just enveloped in this armor, kind of, but they don't seem overly heavy. You don't feel like you're just plodding around with these giant anchors attached to your feet. They're absolutely fantastic. They look amazing. The leather has held up so well. Are they worth the price? Well, as I mentioned, when I configured these originally, with all the choices I made, they were $689, the regular price. I got quite a bit off of that price. I got a little bit of a special deal. If I had to pay the $689, it would be tough, it would be painful, it would be maybe hard to justify, but after experiencing these boots, I think they are worth the price. Now, it may not be worth it to you, but as far as just the quality of these boots, I think they're worth close to $700. They're pretty fantastic. Is there anything I would change about the configuration? We went through all the custom options that I picked. And really, no, I don't think I would. I think the height is perfect. I didn't want something too low, but I didn't want something too tall, and this height is just about perfect. I think the hardware looks good. I wouldn't take out any of this hardware. I wouldn't, you could choose whether or not you want the hardware on the ankle or on the instep. I chose both. I like it that way. I'm glad I didn't put any structure in the toe. I like the softer toe. I think it just looks really nice with age, and I didn't want the more bulbous quality that would impart to the toe if I had had a Celastic or even a steel toe in there. I don't know if they offered a steel toe in this one, I'm not sure. I love the heel stack. I think that logger heel looks really good, and I like the height of the heel, the arch, everything. The V-bar soles, I think, are really, really nice. They're a great kind of middle ground between a really beefy, really durable sole and something that's a little thinner and maybe not quite as durable. This still feels like it's lasting a very long time, and you get pretty good grip. I've never felt like I was slipping in these boots at all, and they make them a little bit less chunky. You could have those big lug soles, but I chose to have the V-bars, and I'm really happy with that. I love the color. I love the leather I picked. I love everything about these boots. I think they are absolutely astoundingly made, of the utmost quality. And yeah, I wouldn't change a thing. My custom Nicks Pullman's engineer boots after 14 months of use. These things are amazing. I absolutely love them. And I'm looking forward to wearing these for pretty much the rest of my life. I may have to do a resole eventually. I will do a new heel eventually, probably within the next few months. And then I should be set for another year, I would think, at least, until I have to do anything about the V-bar soles. And then when you're starting to talk about the inner or the midsole and maybe having to recraft the entire boot, that's probably, I don't know, 5-10 years away. I'm not sure. Judging by how they've held up so far, I'm not expecting that I'm going to have to do too much as far as recrafting these boots for quite some time, other than replacing the heels. So yeah, I cannot recommend the Nicks Pullmans highly enough. They are absolutely fantastic boots, and they are worth every single penny. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.